Well, tragedy continues. Stories keep coming in out of Texas. More than 100 lives were claimed, with a dozen people still missing. Search and rescue teams have been working around the clock to try to find those that are still missing. But the threat for another flash flood is possible. Showers expected. Again, it's not going to take much. Just a little bit is all it takes on these saturated grounds. Fox Weather's Robert Ray is in Kerrville, Texas, with more on the devastation. Robert, good morning to you.
Craig, good morning to you. On the Guadalupe River behind me in the dark of night, as the camera lens zooms out, you'll be able to see a glimpse of that. And also behind me, the devastation of nature and the trees. And you can see materials wrapped around this one, and the smell of soil and water as search and rescue continues here. It has not stopped since July 4th, and we see the visuals from Kerrville and other areas. Men and women on the ground, first responders walking the banks of the Guadalupe River looking for a miracle. There are over 100 people that have lost their lives to date. There are also over a dozen missing. And the problem, one of the many problems, the saddest part of this, the catastrophic loss of life of children. 28 girls from Camp Mystic, up the river here, actually to the west of where we're at in Kerrville. And a lot of people that are mourning those losses. In the meantime, helicopters buzzed the entire region, and they started again at 3 a.m. Central, not too long ago, an hour or so ago. When the light comes up, it will be a flurry of activity on the banks of the Guadalupe looking for a miracle. Also, people here, residents, are trying to do their best to embrace the situation and help those that have lost everything. Let's listen to one woman who is out here looking for anything that spells hope.
I spent the first 2 days crying. That second day, I stopped crying. I went and fed people. Third day, I came out and looked for bodies. Here I am again. It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river. And I'm out here digging in piles with my friend, just hoping that maybe we can find something that reunites somebody back with their family.
As raw as it gets, Craig. And to talk to that woman yesterday evening as she sat on that pile of debris from the Guadalupe River, and her friend, as she mentioned, and they had pitchforks going through all of it, hoping to find a soul. And that's the reality. President Donald Trump will be here on Friday. Aid groups have moved in, Craig. There is full federal assistance. There is state and local, and they are ready to continue this painful process of a search and rescue. Craig?
Robert, just the stories are just heartbreaking, and you hear adults and children both giving their stories. Have you noticed in your being there, maybe are they using drones? Have dogs come in to help in the search and rescue as well, or recovery in some cases?
Indeed. There are dozens of dogs, cadaver dogs, that are walking with first responders. They are using drones to look down on the river, heat searching mechanisms, and helicopters, obviously. But I will tell you that the landscape here in the hill country really takes to the feet, meaning the first responders moving through the brush and the debris. That seems to be the most successful at this point, but nonetheless, the power of the helicopters to see what's going on and then relay what they're looking at as far as topography down to the ground, very important for the men and women that are searching these banks. Craig?
Yeah, Robert, we'll continue to follow the stories and hope that they get all of the support and help that they need. That is Fox Weather Correspondent Robert Ray. Thank you. By the way, you can join Fox's effort to support those that have been experiencing the devastating floods. Just scan the QR code on your screen to support the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund, or go to go.fox/TX Flood Relief.